The rain poured like the sky was weeping, its tears tapping against the glass walls of a towering corporate building in downtown Manhattan, where the name, Grantham Enterprises, shimmered in silver under the stormy sky. Inside the sleek, cold marble lobby filled with hurried footsteps and buzzing phones, a small figure stood, drenched, shivering, and out of place. She was no taller than the reception desk, her oversized pink raincoat clinging to her as if trying to protect her from a world far too big. Her name was Lily Carter, and she was just 7 years old. Clutching a worn-out folder with her tiny hands and holding back tears, she approached the desk and, with a shaky voice, said, "I'm here for the interview. My mom couldn't come. She's very sick, so I came instead." The receptionist blinked, stunned, glancing around as if expecting someone to jump out and say this was a prank. But Lily's eyes, large, sincere, and filled with an honesty too pure for this city, were real. Behind the scenes, in the top-floor office, Richard Grantham, the 42-year-old billionaire CEO with a reputation for being ruthless in business and indifferent to emotion, was scanning resumes with mechanical precision. Nothing impressed him anymore. Ivy League degrees, polished suits, 10 years of experience, it all blurred together. He didn't need more competence, he needed someone who understood people. Someone who could care. Back in the lobby, security was ready to escort Lily out gently when she opened her folder and placed a crayon-drawn resume on the counter. "My mom's name is Sarah Carter. She's very smart. She taught me how to make pancakes, how to draw unicorns, and how to read 3 books in one night. She always wanted this job. Please, can you give her a chance?" The receptionist, stunned by the girl's determination, hesitated. She picked up the office phone and made a call that would forever alter everyone's lives. "Sir, you're going to want to come down here. There's something you need to see." Minutes later, Richard Grantham stepped into the lobby, flanked by his assistant and a storm of curiosity. When he saw the little girl standing bravely by the front desk, rainwater pooling at her feet, he didn't speak at first. He just stared, as if his guarded soul had been pierced by something real for the first time in years. "You came for the interview?" he asked slowly. Lily nodded, brushing wet bangs from her eyes. "Yes, sir. My mom is too sick. But I know everything about her. I can answer your questions." A crowd began to gather as Richard, intrigued and amused but somehow touched, motioned her to follow him. Cameras in the lobby caught the moment, a billionaire CEO walking beside a soaked little girl into the elevator. By the time they reached the top floor, the story had already started spreading across the company's private chats. "She says her mom is sick. That she's here to fight for her." In the boardroom, where interviews usually felt like interrogations, Richard sat across from Lily and asked, "So tell me, why should I hire your mom?" Lily opened the folder and placed several pages on the table, childlike drawings of her mom helping her with homework, cooking, smiling. "Because she works harder than anyone I know. She never gives up. When I was in the hospital last year, she didn't sleep for 3 days. She says love is doing what's hard when it's not fair. I think that's what your company needs." Richard felt something crack inside him, a memory perhaps, of his own mother who raised him alone after his father disappeared. He leaned back, suddenly disarmed. "Do you know what this company does?" he asked gently. Lily nodded proudly. "You help build hospitals. But you also do other stuff, finance, real estate, tech." "My mom studied all that. She went back to school. She reads your articles. She said if she could just get in the room, she'd show you what she's made of." Richard's assistant whispered to him, "We've never had an application like this. She's not on the interview list." But Richard was no longer thinking in lists or numbers. He was thinking in stories. In soul. And this little girl had just walked into his fortress of steel and glass and reminded him what it meant to believe in someone. "Where is your mom now?" he asked. Lily's shoulders drooped. "At home. In bed. She has pneumonia. We don't have a lot of money. I walked here. We can't afford the train anymore." Richard, now visibly moved, stood. "Tell you what," he said. "Let's go visit your mom." The entire boardroom gasped. CEOs didn't just go to applicants' homes. But this wasn't business as usual. A black car pulled up outside the Carter apartment complex 30 minutes later. Cameras followed. The internet began buzzing. Millionaire CEO leaves office with child to meet her sick mom. What's going on? Inside the modest apartment, Sarah Carter was coughing in bed, pale and shocked when her daughter entered holding hands with the billionaire CEO. "Mom," Lily whispered, "I did it. I got you the interview." Sarah tried to sit up, overwhelmed. "Mr. Grantham, but he shook his head. "Call me Richard. And no more interviews. You're hired." The next morning, headlines blazed. Little girl walks into interview, changes CEO's heart, saves her mom's life. Richard paid for Sarah's hospital bills, hired her as a special consultant, and launched a new program inside Grantham Enterprises called Second Chances, dedicated to hiring underdogs, single moms, overlooked talents, people who just needed one opportunity. Sarah's strategies revolutionized the company's outreach efforts. Within 6 months, profits soared and public reputation skyrocketed. But for Richard, it wasn't just business. It was personal. Lily's courage reminded him of the part of himself he had buried beneath success and money. And every time he passed Sarah's new corner office and saw Lily drawing at the side desk, he remembered why he had built this empire to begin with. Entity. And to those watching the story online, one message stood out loud and clear: never underestimate the heart of a child. So, if you believe in real stories, in kindness, and in second chances, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Because the next story might be yours.